The interesting thing about this film, about this scene, is he says in his solitary confinement, in the cell next to him was a chess master, in the cell the other side of him was a master con man. They'd never seen each other, and they'd never heard from each other, but they knew they might as well have been married, that they knew so much about one another. Now, if they'd never seen each other, and they never heard from each other, how could they know so much about each other?
We need to know how much time you did and who you did it with.
Why?
Why? The deal is we ask the questions.
Had two choices inside. 14 years normal time or 7 years solitary. I chose the solitary. I spent 20 hours a day locked up in between two salty convicts. I've been down there for more years than I care to remember. One was a chess master, the other a master con man. Never seen or spoken to each other, but they might as well have been married. They knew so much about one another.
Well, the answer is neither of them are in the 3D body. You understand? Yeah? They are detached from the body, and they're in the ether. This is why they say the awakened man cannot be imprisoned. Because you can put the body in prison, yeah, but they can go between cells. They talk to each other in the ether. So he is sitting there in the middle cell between them, yeah, and they can see everything he's doing, but he's got no idea. From his perspective in the 3D world, they're in the cell next door to him. One's one side and one's the other side. But from their perspective, they're in all three cells. You understand, yeah? So they have become enlightened. They have transcended. They have ascended. They have detached from the physical body. They have overcome the ego, and they are now in a higher dimension. He says, I used to intercept the books.
We need to know how much time you did and who you did
There's
it with.
the clue for you.
Why?
Why? The deal is we ask the
How would he not know everything about them if the reason that they knew everything about each other was because they were writing to each other?
Had two choices inside.
It's not because they were writing to each other, because if they were, and he was intercepting the books, he'd have known everything about them.
Chose the solitary.
You understand? But them two were both in the ether. They are in the ether, and he is still trapped in the 3D physical world.
I've been down there for more years than I care to remember. One was a chess master, the other a master con man. Never seen or spoken to each other, but they might as well have been married. They knew so much about one another. Once a day, the library on wheels would be pushed around by a pair of axe-murdering twins. They pushed the trolley for 22 years. My neighbours used to write down chess moves and concepts of the con on the back pages of books based on subjects like theoretical astrophysics, part 4, and the mathematics of quantum mechanics. They just used them for the con. I used to intercept the books because I was sandwiched in between their cells. Dangerous combination. Chess and cons. These boys were locked up on their own for 10 years with no distractions, nothing to do but think about how to steal one another's pieces. Oh yeah, they thought. They really thought. I was under the impression that I was the clever bastard before I went in, but these boys were a completely different class. Head tricksters of the Premier Division. Their sole ambition was to create the ultimate con and win the ultimate game.
Right. The ego is what we need to overcome. In this movie Revolver, what's happening is Jason Statham, Mr. Green, has gone into the house of Ray Liotta, and he's basically trying to overcome his own ego. Now, Ray Liotta sent him to prison for 7 years, yeah, wrongly. He sent him down for something he shouldn't have gone down for, yeah, but rather than kill him, yeah, he's having an argument with himself, Yeah, now if he can beat the voice within his own head, yeah, he will transcend the ego. And this is what this is about. And when you see the flashes on the screen, yeah, it's him arguing with himself. He's having the argument with himself inside.
Look, Mr. Macca. Oh, don't do it. Very sorry to have woken you. Please listen to me.
Who's that? Mr. Green?
Mr. Macca, please. Sorry to have woken you. Listen to me.
Sorry. Listen at how you sound.
Came to apologise. Forgive me for the things I said. And for...
You see, now what he's doing, yeah, is rather than just being led by that voice inside his head, by the person that he thinks he is, yeah, he's taking control of it. He's basically disconnecting from all the internal thoughts that are saying, just shoot the bastard, just kill him. And he, laying in bed, ain't got a clue what's going on. He don't understand why he's being so nice. Look at the shock on his face.
And engage the enemy.
Shut up!
No.
Wake up, Jake!
No.
What are you fucking doing, Jake? Leave it, Jake!
You're grovelling. I now realise you're a man to be feared and respected. I now realise you're a man to be feared and respected. Stop grovelling. Where's your pride?
And he is becoming enlightened.
Where's your pride, Jake?
I made a big mistake, Mr. Macca.
Shut up!
I underestimated your power and your intellect. I made a donation in your name as a peace offering. As a token of my apology. I want you to...
Shut up!
I want you to forgive my stupidity.
See the snake programming as well?
Wherever you don't want to go is where you will find him. What is it that you're afraid of, Mr. Green?
It's a big argument about the enemy within. Like it says earlier on in the movie, he's behind all the pain there ever was, talking about the ego. And he's scared of being in the elevator. So when he goes in there, yeah, the ego starts trying to take control. And now he has to battle with his own ego. This is why we're scared of things, yeah. The reason we fear everything, yeah, is in a sense irrational, because there's nothing to fear. You never die. But the trouble is you identify with the body, and by identifying with the person, with the 3D physical body, you are then in a state of fear. So it's like you're worried that you're going to get killed and all this sort of stuff, or you won't jump out of a plane for whatever reason, like you're terrified. And I understand, you know, I get it. You know, we're all the same. But this is the point, and this is what this film's about. It's about the death of the ego. You have to overcome your own inner demon. That inner demon is the ego.
We're best pals, Jake. You want to get rid of me? You know life without me?
You don't know life without me.
Do you know life without me? No, because it doesn't exist.
Do they talk about me, Jake?
No, because I don't exist.
Tell all your friends about me then, Jake.
I protect you,
And I control you. If I say do, you obey. If I say you're scared...
You're scared!
Been listening to the other side, haven't you, Jake? Listening to people that want to hurt you, Jake.
New people.
No!
Not old friends like me.
People you shouldn't
Trust.
Not me. I've been your friend forever, since the beginning.
Get rid of them, Jake.
Forever.
They're the enemy.
Not me.
They're new. I'm old. I stay, they go. I say, you do.
You're weak without me. Weak. It's us against them, Jake. It's us against them. I'm coming to get you.
You want to get rid of me, Jake? You want to make an enemy out of me? You want to get rid of me, do ya? Do ya? You want to get rid of me? Me? Boom. Huh.
What the film is telling you also is that the way to get rid of the ego, yeah, is through humiliation, yeah, because he says in the movie, nothing hurts more than humiliation and a little money loss. Now, yes, that is true, yeah, in a sense, but it's the wrong way to go. It's not about humiliating yourself. You don't want to humiliate yourself. You just want to see the ego for what it is, yeah, and overcome it.
The greatest con that he ever pulled was making you believe that he is you.
You ain't me.
You see, he's a prisoner within his own mind, yeah, because he thinks that he is the ego. Everybody thinks that that little voice in their head, yeah, is them.
I am you!
And this is him now, becoming enlightened. He's letting go of the ego, the 3D physical.
You don't control me. I control you.
And this scene also shows you, look, notice how it looks like the sun is behind his head. Yeah, he's becoming illuminated. The lights have come on.
You come to my house with a loaded gun? You speak to me like I'm a fucking idiot? What's your game? What's your game? Speak to me.
He's not scared at all.
Speak to
He's
me.
let go of fear.
Or I'll kill you like the fucking dog that you are. Fear me. Fear me. Fear me. Fear me. Fear me.
The ego is the worst confidence trickster we could ever figure, we could ever imagine, because you don't see it.
And the single biggest con is, I am you.
The problem is that the ego hides in the last place that you'd ever look, within itself.
It disguises its thoughts as your thoughts, its feelings as your feelings. You think it's you.
People's need to protect their own egos knows no bounds. They will lie, cheat, steal, kill, do whatever it takes to maintain what we call ego boundaries.
People have no clue that they're in prison. They don't know that there is an ego. They don't know the distinction.
At first, it's difficult for the mind to accept that there's something beyond itself, that there's something of greater value and greater capacity for discerning truth than itself.
In religion, the ego manifests as the devil. And of course, no one realizes how smart the ego is because it created the devil so you could blame someone else.
In creating this imaginary external enemy, we usually made a real enemy for ourselves, and that becomes a real danger to the ego, but that's also the ego's creation.
There is no such thing as an external enemy, no matter what that voice in your head is telling you. All perception of an enemy is a projection of the ego as the enemy.
In that sense, you could say that 100% of our external enemies are of our own creation.
Your greatest enemy is your own inner perception, is your own ignorance, is your own ego.